Bonjour, 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 comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? Moi ça va très très bien. Aujourd'hui, en cette super après-midi d'un dimanche, The Stanley Parable Deluxe Edition. Voilà, un petit jeu tranquille pour faire une pause à l'isolation qu'on reprendra demain évidemment. Voilà, je voulais jouer un petit jeu tranquille. Tranquillement, voilà, pour ce dimanche, hein, parce que j'ai plein de trucs à faire, mais je voulais jouer quand même un jeu. Donc voilà, je l'ai jamais fait, c'est une découverte totale. Et il faut que je vous annonce quelque chose. Je tiens à vous dire que je suis affiliée. Ça y est, j'ai débloqué l'affiliation, je vais pouvoir faire plein de trucs. Je ne savais pas que j'allais l'avoir aujourd'hui, je pensais l'avoir demain. Mais j'ai eu le mail aujourd'hui, donc évidemment, bon, je suis désolée, j'ai pas encore créé l'entreprise, fait les machins et trucs pour que vous puissiez vous sub ou que pour avoir les émotes. Donc j'ai le débloqué aujourd'hui, voilà. Donc prochainement vous pourrez vous sub et voilà, mettre des émotes, etc. Mais pour l'instant, on va jouer au jeu. Donc allons-y, commencez le jeu. The end is loading, super.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
J'ai mis les sous-titres, hein, évidemment.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Ok.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk,
Oui.
telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them,
D'accord.
in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending,
D'accord.
Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. Stanley was happy.
Stanley était heureux.
And
D'accord.
one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
D'accord.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to
Ah, mince.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Ah oui.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time.
D'accord.
But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
D'accord.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
J'avoue, peut-être. Pourquoi il y a personne? C'est par où? Par là? D'accord. Bah non, merde. Oh, je me suis trompée. Je suis perdue. Je me suis perdue. Allez. Au bout de 2 minutes, je me suis perdue. C'est super.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Celle de gauche.
door on his
D'accord.
Yet there was not a single
Il y
person.
avait personne.
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Ok.
he decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, tout seul, je dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive aggressively on other coworker. D'accord.
Coming to a staircase,
Ah, les marches.
upstairs
Ok,
to
faut
his
monter.
boss's office.
Ok. Waouh. Le patron, il se met bien.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
Il y a personne.
any human life.
Pourquoi il y a personne?
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this.
Qui a fait ça?
Dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the
Ouais.
boss's desk guarded the terrible truth
Waouh.
Boss had been keeping from him.
Ok.
So the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Ben, c'est quoi le...
845.
Alors,
Of course, Stanley couldn't possibly
8,
have known this.
4, 5...
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing
On appuie au hasard.
the keypad,
Oui, oui.
Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Oh, le coup de bol.
He stepped into the newly opened
Waouh.
passageway.
Ok. Ouais. D'accord. Ah, c'est là.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Comment ça?
There was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as
Wow.
though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This
J'avoue.
question would not go unanswered for long.
D'accord. Ça, c'est quand même gigantesque.
Walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
D'accord. Et puis...
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
What?
Horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ok. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel? Les caméras?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true picture revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom...
Je suis où? 427, je suis là. Ok.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe it could...
Oui, effectivement.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
What the fuck?
The only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
D'accord.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His
D'accord.
life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Ok. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
Proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad.
What the fuck?
Content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert
D'accord.
terrible power over another human life.
D'accord.
For he would dismantle the control
Ah, détruire les commandes.
and for all.
D'accord. Ok.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
D'accord.
Was it over?
Est-ce que c'est terminé?
Yes,
Il avait gagné?
he had won.
Ok.
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Ok. Masterclass?
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where
D'accord.
had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
J'avoue.
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
J'avoue que je m'en bats les couilles.
Knowledge or even that he had been
C'est seulement le bonheur.
but happiness.
Waouh!
Goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
Super.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
Je peux y aller?
Stanley felt the cool
Wow!
on his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before
D'accord.
him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Ok. Quoi? Comment ça finissait le jeu? Comment ça? Comment ça? Non, non, non. Ah, waouh, ok.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Ah, je recommence, ok.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ok. À la meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Bah vas-y, je vais à la droite.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he
D'accord.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Pour l'admirer. Quoi? Waouh!
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all.
Oh, de fou, hein.
Just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Non.
Stanley was so bad...
Tellement capable de suivre les instructions que c'était incroyable qu'il n'ait pas été licencié. Quoi? Comment ça? Penalty for jumping for the cargo lift.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Attends, je peux sauter?
Your enemy, but in his eagerness to prove
C'est le premier qui contre l'histoire.
the story, no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Ouais!
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very...
Merci. D'accord, bon.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Non,
He had simply missed a memo.
non, on va pas dans la meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open... This was not the correct way to...
On s'en fout.
And Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Non.
Stanley was so bad at...
Oui, je suis un con.
It's incredible he wasn't
Il y
fired.
a une carte ici.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the road.
D'accord.
I'm not your enemy,
Je ne
really.
suis pas votre ennemi, d'accord.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been
D'accord.
neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten.
Comment ça, quelqu'un que j'ai oublié?
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Heure, c'est qui Heure?
Is it, Stanley? Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside,
Ouais,
her back into your life.
oui,
She's been waiting.
oui. Waouh. Alors?
Stanley.
Pourquoi c'est tout blanc? Hein? Hein?
Stanley, is that you?
Oui.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
D'accord.
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Ah, super.
Gotcha. Oh, come on.
Vous saviez une femme qui vous aimait? Mais quel bâtard.
Who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
D'accord.
Trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Non.
Sorry, but you're in my...
Oh! D'accord. Bonjour.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Comment ça, la mort? Bonjour, on peut appuyer sur K sur votre clavier. Oui.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
D'accord. Sur X. D'accord.
There, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Bah super.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work.
Quoi?
One
What?
even feels
Ça a
sorry
changé?
for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Oh.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk,
D'accord.
Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown.
D'accord.
Fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
D'accord. T'es pour regarder la
So
télévision.
he began to fantasize about his own job.
Quoi?
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his
Collègue, son chef, quoi?
everyone in the
Tout le monde dans le bâtiment a disparu.
vanished off the face of the
C'est
earth.
qui, toi?
Thought excited him terribly.
Du temps entre potes.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last,
Oh.
it barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to be.
D'accord.
As he wandered through the
Quoi?
fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Oui.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind
Oui.
controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with
Il y a un jeu avec un bébé.
and he called it the Stanley Parable.
What the fuck? G pour lire une histoire aux enfants.
Such a wonderful fantasy. And so in his head,
Tu à nouveau. Qu'est-ce qu'il me dit?
and then again, and again, over and over,
Donc il y a une ligne jaune et il y a un jeu avec un bébé.
and that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be?
Oui.
Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Ouais.
But there is no answer.
Ah.
How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
D'accord.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he
Quelle est
gets.
la vraie vie?
The more he forgets which life is the real one.
Ok.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself.
Ok.
But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not.
Ne le faites pas. Ah bon? Rien à foutre.
See? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill
Choisis de se tuer? Quoi? Comment ça?
to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to.
D'accord.
But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley.
D'accord.
So different, I suppose. I'll
Tu fais que jouer un rôle.
try to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Veuillez mourir.
Pushed a button.
D'accord.
And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
D'accord, bon. Il y a une ligne jaune et un jeu avec un bébé. What the fuck?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ok. Ouais. Il y avait une porte quand je suis passée à gauche.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ok. Y a personne.
There was not a single
Y a
person
des trucs sur le truc.
there. Feeling
Police cosmétique, wardrobe manager. Ok.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer.
Move my desk. Qu'est-ce que c'est? A lot of percent. Ok. D'accord. Help me post-it. D'accord. Ah, mais c'est vrai que je peux aller en bas.
To a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ah oui, c'est tout rouge ici.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Vous pouvez pas faire ça.
The possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work.
J'avoue, j'ai pas envie de me faire gronder.
That. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed
1, 2, P4.
vanished. His boss would think he was crazy.
Oui, j'avoue.
Then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of
Je suis fou.
existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as
Je suis en train de...
he pondered this, he began to make other strange
Je
observations.
suis en train de refaire toutes
For
les...
example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors
Ah oui.
close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to
Bah oui, je suis dans une boucle là, non?
simply repeating. No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
D'accord.
I'm dreaming! He yelled.
Tout ceci n'est qu'un rêve.
It's all a dream.
Oui, je suis en train de rêver, hein.
What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going.
Non, j'étais pas fou.
He wasn't crazy after
J'étais en train de dormir.
And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still...
D'accord.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What the fuck?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield.
Dans l'espace?
Appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley
Oh non, pas l'espace.
that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
J'avoue.
Then
C'est un rêve
the
lucide.
strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in
Il y a une voix dans ma tête qui dit tout ce que je fais.
everything that I'm doing? And
J'avoue.
now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it
C'est
particularly.
perturbant, bah tu m'étonnes.
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd,
Ok.
he wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams. The truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
Bon, c'est un rêve ou c'est pas un rêve?
Was Stanley simply
Il me rend de fou.
himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
Oui, j'avoue.
Stanley is as awake right now
Ah, il est réveillé?
as ever been in his life.
D'accord.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact...
Tout ceci n'était qu'un
voice not see
rêve.
him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it.
Il est le prouvé.
Prove
Quoi?
that he was in control. That this was a dream.
D'accord.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself.
Ah, ça y est.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the
Ah,
mattress,
j'étais en train de dormir?
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
Ok.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want.
D'accord.
I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
D'accord.
My life is normal.
Ma vie est normale, je suis normale, tout va s'arranger.
Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Je vais bien. Oh!
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
D'accord.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Comment ça, Mariella?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Ah!
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Quoi?
Soon turned to go call for an ambulance. For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
D'accord.
In that moment, she thought to herself how happy she was to be
Oh, quelle chance! Elle est bien validiste, elle. Quelle chance, je ne suis pas fou.
my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of.
Super.
She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
D'accord. Ah, je suis revivant? Je suis revivant.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Allez, c'est parti.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ok.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Executive bathroom. Oh, les chiottes! I got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course, so that's a lovely... Quoi? D'accord, j'ai pas de reflet. Super. Oh! Bonjour. Il y a un ascenseur. Je peux descendre? Il est bien ici, hein. C'est bon? Hein? Bah du coup on monte alors. Je pense qu'en fait, il n'y a pas de... D'accord. Ça ne sert à rien. C'est super. Bon, je vais rentrer dans le bureau de mon patron, du coup.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of
Il n'y a personne.
life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind
Ouais.
paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, This keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
J'ai de la chance.
Into the newly opened passageway.
Ok. Ah oui, par là. Ok, il y a tout ça. Donc là, je repasse tout en bas.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the
Et là, il y a Escape.
mind control facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Comment ça?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Non.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward
Oui.
and willingly confront his death.
Ouais. Mort. Waouh. Hein? Je suis pas mort?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise,
Je vais me faire écraser.
that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world
Il y
is.
a un truc ici.
Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Quoi?
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Non. Je vais mourir. Hein?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator.
Comment ça?
Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Waouh.
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh. Oui.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in
Quoi?
his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to
Qu'est-ce qu'il est en train de faire? Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in
Wow.
advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
Ok.
You see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
D'accord, plan du bureau. Chemin du bureau installé, 2 portes et tout premier chemin conçu dans le jeu. Oh mais c'est un musée? Ah putain, c'est un musée. Ordinateur du bureau. Armoire de rangement. Putain, mais qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel? Le bureau. Son de bouton. Chaque son est un mélange de frappe, de clavier, de tonalité, synthétiseur. Ah oui, d'accord. Allez, remerciements. D'accord. 431, 436. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Salle de maintenance. L'une des premières versions de la salle de maintenance. D'accord. Le bureau. Ok. Pourquoi je suis dans un musée? Zone de guerre. Quoi? Début du développement, nous avons imaginé une fin où Stanley se retrouvait dans un champ de bataille contre des extraterrestres. Le jeu développerait sa propre intelligence et partirait en guerre contre le narrateur. Nous avons réalisé peu après que c'était pousser la blague trop loin et que c'était peut-être trop plat par rapport au ton du jeu. Certains l'ont aussi vu comme une manière de nous moquer des amateurs de jeux de tir, ce qui n'était pas notre but. Oh, ça aurait été bien. Email du narrateur. Après la deuxième bande-annonce que nous avons publiée, nous avons demandé aux gens d'envoyer des questions par email au narrateur. Nous continuons de s'en servir pour promouvoir encore le jeu, mais nous n'avons jamais trouvé vraiment comment les exploiter. Ok. Credit given to art. Ok. Cool. Elaborate. Ok. Infinite quest. How many ending. Ok. D'accord. La salle de pause. Littéraire salle de pause. Waouh. Le bureau de Stanley. De quoi je te raconte l'évolution du bureau de Stanley au fil du temps. La date de novembre 2011 à 2e de mars 2012 et le 3e de février 2013. D'accord. 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 Ouais, bon, c'est la même salle. Maquette du game design. Voici le niveau que Williams, le level designer, a envoyé à David, le scénariste. Il est engagé pour que ce soit ce jeu tout entier. Ah oui, d'accord. Activer. Ah, ça c'est là. C'est dans la salle des écrans. Vous trouverez le porte en haut et le compte à rebours en bas. Nous avons laissé tomber cette idée. Ah d'accord. Ça du compte à rebours. Fin de la liberté. Ok, dans la bêta. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel? Oh, il y a des fins relaxantes. De la fois connue sur la fin de leur fin relaxante, finalement abandonnée. Levier de la fin relaxante. Ok. Actionner un levier, le narrateur crée la couleur du levier choisi. Menu échappe. Et comment ça? C'est le bordel, c'est quoi ce... Obey first choice. Two options. Maintenance. The other entrance will be hidden depending on how you enter. Comment ça? Il y a la vente. Point de maintenance. Quoi? D'accord. C'est que ce bordel. Allez, c'est des bandes annonces. D'accord. Il y a un Simon là, non? Ah non, c'est juste le jeu. D'accord. C'est le bureau du chef, ouais. Ok. Horloge du bureau. Et là, je reviens au début. D'accord. Scène coupée de narration.
Nothing there. Shoot. Well, try the other one then.
Kevin Bratton, la voix du narrateur, a enregistré les dialogues du jeu entier à peu près 3 fois au cours de 2 années de développement.
Elevator for sure. We're getting right back on track to where he was.
Ah, c'est des extraits qui sont pas dans le jeu. D'accord.
Where were all of his co-workers?
Sous-sol. Ok. Bon, on va aller là où c'était marqué activé. On a fini le tour du musée. Exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they
Comme ils
wish
rêvent
to
chacun
destroy
détruire l'autre.
one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Désactivé. Du coup, ça fait quoi?
Can you see how much they need one
Ils
another?
ont besoin l'un de l'autre?
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Ah!
Listen to me. You can still save these two.
D'accord.
Stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this.
Échappe et quitter.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
D'accord.
This is the...
Ah, on recommence, ok.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
D'accord. Je vais peut-être aller jusqu'à la fin et faire on.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Pas un code ici.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ok. Non, il n'y a pas de code.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks.
Ok.
Not a living soul anywhere. Could
Oui.
he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of... Stanley was in such a rush to get as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a...
Oui, on s'en fout de ce que tu dis.
The narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments.
Une musique New Age, comment ça?
Music.
Je m'en bats les couilles. Mais...
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Je peux pas retourner en arrière? Non. Ok. Non, je peux qu'aller en bas.
Stanley walked straight
Okay.
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oui. J'allume les lumières.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ok.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers.
Ah oui.
Lives of so many individuals
Et si je faisais 0,427 dans le bureau du directeur?
eternally monitored in this place.
En vrai.
Their freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Ouais.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life
Ok.
in someone else's...
On revient à tout ce qu'on a fait au début.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Ah, donc là,
The heart of the operation
il y a un truc.
controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power
Je peux pas faire d'autres trucs?
on human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Il a l'air de rien avoir. Ah, il y a un 3. D'accord. Il y a des boutons en fait. Console disable. Et si je fais on et que je reviens après? Attendez.
And when at last he found the source of the room... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Si, si.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, and you tried to take control of the...
Oui, je prends le contrôle de la
What
machine.
you wanted? Control?
Oui.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do.
D'accord.
You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
Comment ça faire mieux que ça?
You don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just
Des
initiated
détonations d'urgence?
an emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating
D'accord.
the complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Now, this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now.
Waouh, super.
Heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
Ok.
This means I barely know where to start.
Bah moi non plus.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Et il me dit 2.
A moment of solace before you're obliterated.
Ah, c'est ouvert.
I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then die.
D'accord.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though,
Je pense
this
qu'il faut que je fasse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
is rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time.
Rate de temps?
Not. These are precious additional seconds.
What the fuck?
Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was
Oui, j'avoue.
turning it on?
De quelque chose à éteindre?
Look at you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten?
Quoi?
One solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Non, je sais pas.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerful.
5 verts?
Made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. but I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left.
D'accord, super.
30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to
Mais qu'est-ce que je dois faire?
part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
Ah, je suis mort. Oh putain, faut que je recommence tout.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Je suis dead.
Oh,
Ah, tu joues retenu.
content? What does that mean, new content?
Ok. Nouveau contenu. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
What the fuck?
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with
Oui.
the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe,
Super.
reimagining of the game for consoles and home
Oh
computers.
le musée des horreurs encore.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Ok.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Super.
Well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Ok. Ouais.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh,
Ah, ça y est.
all right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Allez, c'est parti.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Tu veux du content?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Waouh! Incroyable. Ah. Super.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else.
Oui, j'espère qu'il y a quelque chose d'autre.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions
Eh, ce nouveau jeu ne sont pas fameuses. Bah, tu m'étonnes.
just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20...
À lire le dictionnaire.
Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And Oh, wait. There's more.
Ah,
Very good.
qu'est-ce qu'on a ici?
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it?
Merci d'avoir...
Kidding me. You see,
What the fuck?
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no
super.
reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What
the fuck?
department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find
Bah toi ces gens sur Twitter.
and hold them.
Ça n'existe plus, c'est X.
Fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Tu peux pas rouvrir la porte? Oh putain. Ah! Ok.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something! Oh, you don't want to see the cool
Oh si, bon allez.
I made for you? Well, fine. Oh, never mind. You're not a dog.
Ok. Encore un ascenseur?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out?
D'accord.
Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be.
D'accord.
So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel?
Secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of
Ah ouais.
whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Memory, sweet memory.
You
Don't
see,
forget.
doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October
Tiens, Sword.
when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Smile because it happened. La thune que je vais pouvoir aussi bientôt avoir. Waouh. Une achievable. It's possible to get this achievement. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. Quoi? Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel? Il y a vraiment un succès qui s'appelle... qui est comme ça? Attendez, je regarde sur Steam. Attendez. Vous ne pouvez pas sauter. Succès test à ignorer, mais oui. En moins de 4 minutes et 22 secondes. Ah oui, il y a un... Je crois que c'est... Va jouer dehors. Ne jouez pas à Stanley Parable pendant 10 ans. 10 ans. Engagement, jouer à ce Stanley Parable pendant tout un mardi. Super. Comment ça pendant 10 ans? Et ça va pas? Aïe 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 aïe.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of game
10 sur 10 sur Destructoid.
from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote,
Qu'est-ce qu'elle a dit?
"Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art,
D'accord.
Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
Waouh.
Literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3.
Persona 3, big up Elise.
It's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Ouais. Maintenance, bon bah au moins c'est clair. C'est original remake. Person of the Year. D'accord.
Here's another moving passive.
Gamespot.com, et c'est vraiment... Ils ont vraiment fait un musée pour ce sujet, c'est une dinguerie.
It's both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone.
Ouais.
To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall
Ouais.
of beloved video game memories. These were simpler times, Stanley.
Ouais.
What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Voilà.
Hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
This, what's down here? Oh, no.
Steam Review.
God, no.
Ah.
Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years.
Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire?
What's been collecting down here? Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Aïe aïe aïe, je sens que ça va être les haters.
Honestly,
Mais si, could be Bowser to play this game to full completion.
the narrator is obnoxious,
Le narrateur est détestable et pas drôle.
with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny!
I'm funny.
Funny? I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have...
Oui, super. Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who
Pour
prefers
quelqu'un qui préfère les jeux non linéaires, ce côté donneur de leçons devient rapidement agaçant.
preachy, I'm not preachy, am I?
Si, un petit peu.
If I'm preachy, honestly, you can.
Ah si, si, si.
This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being...
Faut qu'on soit assez succinct. Ah non.
You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game.
Oh putain.
As light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful
Misère.
I have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track.
Mais oui, bah c'est comme ça qu'on reconnaît un vrai jeu. C'est qu'il y a des bonnes et des mauvaises critiques.
Like I let these people down.
Mais non.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop
Vous
doing...
devez tout le temps arrêter ce que vous faites pour que l'auteur ait le temps de dévoiler ses explications interminables. J'avoue que ça c'est vrai.
I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can...
Bah si c'est le prix à payer pour effacer ces mauvais critiques.
The record, only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable
Wow, 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 wow.
today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
D'accord.
And here it is. Go ahead. Oh, you're back, you see? You were
Ouais.
only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary
Ok, super.
Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you?
Oui.
That's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at...
Oui.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer.
De plus en plus longue. Oh,
One was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes.
super.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Oui.
Back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Oula.
Stanley, I've
C'est une semaine.
been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Pas grave.
Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about
Oui, super. Il est même plus là, il s'est barré. Allez, hein. Ok. Super.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to...
Ah, salut.
It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where
Où sont les blagues?
They moaned, they screamed, they gnashed it.
Ok, super. De toute façon, je peux rien faire à part passer le temps, donc...
The end is never the end, 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 is never...
Oh, la chanson de fou.
Never the...
On s'emmerde, hein. Ah, il commence à y avoir des fuites. Ah oui, d'accord. Puis des fuites, là, c'est... C'est l'effondrement du système. Oh, oh, la lumière. Oh, des plaintes. C'est magnifique. Vas-y, moi je continue. Hein. Ah. Ah, plus plante. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? C'est The Old As You. Waouh, ok. Ça fait un peu flipper, j'avoue. Ah! Qu'est-ce que... Je... Waouh! Ah ouais, dans la pièce, ok, elle est en mode... Je peux plus appuyer sur le bouton. Ok. Ah oui, d'accord. C'est la fin de la Terre. Waouh. Je dois faire quoi? Au revoir. Ah d'accord.
A soft wind blew outside. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
Oui.
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits
Comment ça?
such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction
Allez, donne-moi le succès, connard.
for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly.
Je suis en train de branler mon clavier, là. Hein. Allez. Je sais qu'il y a un succès Steam qui doit que j'attende 10 ans.
Still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what.
Oui, super.
why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number
Je
417?
fais un fois sur la code 417, ok? 20 fois sur la porte 417, elle est où? Salut!
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
C'est 437, d'accord. Salut Nexuski, comment ça va? J'ai débloqué la monétisation. J'ai pas encore...
Excellent. I think we're getting
J'ai pas encore créé tout ce qu'il faut, mais j'ai débloqué la monétisation.
clicks or so.
415, ok. Tu vas pouvoir te sub. Toi qui voulais te sub. 415. Il est où là? Comme toi. Hop.
Now,
Parfait.
door number 437.
Putain. C'est ce gros con là. Ouais, parfait. Ouais, franchement, ouais. Par contre, ouais, ça va être un peu compliqué de faire tous les papiers et les machins.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know,
La photocopieuse,
copy machine?
elle est où? Elle est là.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
417. Ok.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
419, il est où? Il est où le bureau 419? Il est là?
Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley.
Ok.
All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416. Putain, mais quel connard. 415. Et où la porte 416? Elle est où la porte 416, frérot? « 416 » Ah oui. Le double, re. 416. Mais c'est où?
When Stanley came to a set,
Non!
he entered the door on his left.
Je voulais aller à la porte 416.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to
48.
stop by the employee lounge first, just to
C'est
admire.
où la 416?
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to
S'en
business,
branle.
Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got
Il y a un bouton. J'abandonne, il y a un bouton.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
Ah oui, il y a 3 portes.
well, from here it's, left.
Ok. À gauche.
Oh, no.
Off.
It's to the right, my mistake. No, not the
Mais
right.
putain, c'est où, connard?
I have ever said it was to the right. What was I
Mais quel...
thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Oui. Attendons.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay.
Oui, c'est bon?
I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
D'accord, ok. Oh putain.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoil.
Oui, j'avoue que là, je...
Stanley, close your eyes.
Ok.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish.
Ça sert plus à rien, quoi?
Whole story completely unusable.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
But rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from
No.
the top.
Oh!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ok, faut que je trouve la porte 416. fait, là, il y a de quoi monter sur le bureau, en fait. 416. Elle est où, la 416? Ah, elle est là. Allez. C'est la porte 430 qu'il faut? Faut que je refasse le truc? Non, non, faut que j'aille... 416. Je sais pas combien de fois je clique, mais écoute. On va faire, hein. D'accord, bon. Oh!
Stanley, wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change?
Oui.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
J'ai rien fait, j'ai regardé.
The story somewhere, or a... Hold on. Why am I asking?
Oui, c'est toi qui écris l'histoire, gros con.
The story was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
C'est le bordel, c'est le backroom. Oh shit. Je peux pas monter sur la fenêtre? J'ai trop envie de voir ce qu'il y a derrière la fenêtre. Je peux pas. Je suis triste. Je vais où là? Non. C'est le bordel!
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever... I can promise you, there definitely was a story here.
Ouais, c'est backroom.
Do we need to restart the game again?
Non!
I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh, vas-y, quel con.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Ah,
mean?
je peux plus.
Stanley decided to go
Je peux
to...
plus appuyer.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ouais. D'accord. D'accord.
Okay, yep, it's worse.
Il n'y a même plus de porte.
That's wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
Ok.
Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Oui, vas-y. Oui.
Aha! I knew we'd missed
Wow.
something.
Ok.
Story.
L'histoire. D'accord.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back
Super.
and retrace our steps.
C'est le pire guide du monde, lui. Hein. Ok. D'accord.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't
Bah, moi non plus, hein.
at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building.
Oui, c'est dans les bureaux, mais là, pourquoi on est là?
Do you remember, Stanley?
Oui.
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Ouais.
Congratulations!
Ouais.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Merci pour les...
Oh, no. No. I
Ouais, sauf que du coup, je suis toujours paumée. Hein.
No, you didn't put in any actual work for that.
Oui, j'ai rien fait.
People win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Putain.
Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time.
Allez, redémarre.
To restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley...
Ah, la ligne d'aventure, ils en avaient parlé.
Just follow the line. How simple is that? You see?
Ok.
The line knows where the story is. It's
Ouais.
over in this direction.
Super.
Up, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought.
Oui.
Wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there. Or to put it another way, is the story of no
Il y a
destiny
toujours une histoire, mais de quoi il me parle, lui?
simply by the act of moving forward? Are we
Oui.
implying a journey such that a destination is in
C'est quoi ce bordel?
via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself?
Mais oui, c'est pas ce qu'il fait.
Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure
C'est ce bordel.
where I'm going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Allez, la musique. Un banger, hein. Qu'est-ce que je suis en train de foutre? Qu'est-ce que je suis en train de foutre?
Cut the music.
Oui,
Back and look at that fern.
la fougère.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Hein?
Make sure you study it closely and
Oui.
remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
D'accord. Ouais, super, elle est belle. Je m'en bats les couilles. Je suis pas très plante, moi.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh!
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Ah! D'accord.
You know what, Stanley? I
Oh.
say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done?
D'accord.
We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own
J'avoue.
story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly
Oui.
doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
D'accord. Passons par là.
Now, yes, this is
Waouh!
just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
D'accord.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome
Okay.
new story.
D'accord.
Lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it.
Aucune importance. Mais qu'est-ce qu'il est en train de me faire? Ce jeu me frustre. Ah, pareil. C'est un peu... D'accord. C'est très étrange, hein? Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel?
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story
Ah!
is control.
À droite ou à gauche?
We mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
D'accord.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here.
Oui.
And that in turn means that our destination
Mais qu'est-ce qu'il dit?
with the counter
Il est fou.
reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
Porte de droite est la bonne.
The victory for logic.
D'accord, super, professeur Layton.
Destiny awaits.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Oh, hold up, what's this?
La fin troublante pendant 17 minutes.
The confusion ending. You're telling me
Le narrateur relance le jeu. Découvrir que la salle de porte...
giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight
8 fois?
times? That's really how all this
Il n'y a pas de bureau, seulement un espace noir. Quoi?
determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed
What?
to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply
Je dois
because
encore relancer le jeu. D'accord.
thing, wall. Well, who consulted me?
Une personne.
I get to decide.
Ok, donc on est là.
You get a say in all of
Ensuite, il faut qu'il refait.
No, it can't.
Ne peut aller nulle part ni faire quoi que ce soit. Juste relance tout seul.
The game.
Retrouver la ligne commencée, trouver une réplique parfaite du bureau qui commence à se dégrader.
I don't want to be.
Créer une histoire ici.
I won't.
Relance le jeu.
Start the game. I won't do it.
Il n'y a plus de bureau, seulement un espace noir.
Won't do it.
Trouver une librairie, s'ennuyer, partir.
Does that mean? Did we do it? Did we
D'accord.
cycle the whatever it is
Stanley meurt.
schedule? How would we
D'accord.
know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I
Trouver la ligne.
say that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree?
Ok.
I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel?
Find out, won't we? Eventually.
Oui, peut-être.
In the meantime, if you...
Calmez-vous, le son là. Wesh.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Ah ouais, c'est plus.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ouais.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
C'était quoi déjà? J'ai oublié. Bon, on va faire le jeu, hein, c'est pas très grave.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
Oui.
upstairs to his boss's office.
Fallait que je fasse quoi? J'ai oublié. Merde! Bon, tant pis. J'ai pas la VOD. Attendez. Je vais ouvrir. Je vais regarder. Merde, je sais plus ce qu'il faut les faire. Ah, j'ai pas la VOD! Nick. Vidéo, si. Ok. Stanley essaie de suivre l'histoire, mais il est empêché. Ok. Il essaie de suivre l'histoire, mais il en est empêché. Ça marche. Bon bah on suit l'histoire.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh,
Quoi?
hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Quelle surprise! Ok. On recommence. On redescend. Voyons voir. Oui.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oui.
The lights rose on an enormous
Oui.
with television screen.
Donc ça pour l'instant tout va bien.
Horrible secret did this place hold, Stanley thought.
Qu'est-ce que c'était que ce bordel?
Have the strength to find out. Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature.
D'accord.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers.
D'accord.
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This
Donc normalement tout
control facility,
ça se passe comme prévu.
believe it couldn't be.
Tout comme j'ai prévu.
Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Ok.
Truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oui.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Ouais.
Or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the
Je suis
cold
censée être empêchée de faire quelque chose là.
began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never...
Ouais.
blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it?
Ouais.
Yes! He had won!
Ouais.
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
Oui.
Had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Ouais.
As sunlight streamed into the chamber,
Ouais.
none of this mattered to him.
Ouais.
It was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Je fais la fin normale, mais...
It will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps
D'accord.
the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Bah, ça se déroule comme prévu.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
Ouais.
Feeling of liberation. The immense
T'étais pas
possibility
censé avoir un problème?
before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oui. Quoi?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like?
Ah, d'accord.
There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
D'accord.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
Oui.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his...
Il y a des trucs. Il y a des bruits chelous. Ah.
Here's the
Oh.
door, just go.
Quoi? Là, je ne comprends plus rien.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Ouais.
Control Facility.
Je refais tout. Je ne comprends plus rien. Je ne sais plus ce qui se passe.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Oui.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of
Ok.
employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
D'accord.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control?
Attends, si je n'arrête pas de faire ça, c'est le bordel, non?
The reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never!
Ok.
It's unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Ok.
Or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine...
C'est normal?
blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Qu'est-ce qu'il est en train de me faire?
Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine! Unshackled himself from
On ne voit plus rien.
command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Je lurque un peu, vas-y.
Is gone.
Parce que là, j'avoue, je suis coincée.
The machine's grasp. What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Ok.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It
Oui.
was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool
Allez.
breeze upon his skin. The feeling
Pas...
of vibration,
Je peux passer encore?
possibility.
Moi, je pense qu'après, si j'arrive pas à refaire ça...
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Si ça me refait ça,
Was happy.
je ne refais pas cette run.